With dimensional embroidery, add a useful flourish of floral to your sewing room. A dimensional sunflower really lends itself to a pincushion project because of the way the petals encircle the central area. I'll show you what I mean. When it comes to dimensional flowers, I'm not sure you can ever have too many petals, so let's start by making applique templates for the petals. For this embroidery design, Grand Slam's Loose Petals Applique Sunflower, I'll do that by printing a production sheet on cardstock and cutting that along the middle of the satin stitched border. Right side down, trace the outline onto fabric for the number of petal pieces you desire. To facilitate correct placement in the stitching step, use a vanishing ink marker to number the petals in each ring from 1 to 8. Because this design outlines only one petal at a time, cut the fabric petal pieces apart for easy placement. Once cut out, I arrange them upside down in numerical order along a piece of masking tape and spray with an embroidery-safe adhesive such as 505 Spray and Fix. For dimensional petals, I like to stitch on a background that is easy to remove, yet gives stability. For this project, I'm hooping Aquafilm Badgemaster over 2 layers of tulle. The tulle will be nearly invisible in the finished project and gives extra cohesiveness to the fabric and stitches. Placing the stabilizer on top gives me a smooth surface for adhering and cutting fabric. I do recommend using a heavy stabilizer since a topping weight water-soluble product will not be strong enough to hold the stitches. At the embroidery machine, begin stitching. Stop the machine after the outline of the first petal is stitched. At this point, I like to back the machine up to the beginning of the petal outline. Place the sticky side of the first petal down on the embroidery surface, aligning the fabric with the stitched outline. Start the machine again and allow the petal outline to stitch. Watch the way the satin stitch covers the first petal's edges. If the fabric piece needs to be trimmed, you can do that in the hoop with a pair of applique scissors. Continue adding fabric and stitching each petal until you have as many rows of petals as you would like for your pincushion. The pincushion I'm making has 4 rows of petals. The Loose Petals Applique Sunflower includes an embroidery file for stitching the center of the flower, but for this project I'm replacing that with a foam ball, which will be the body of the pincushion. A 6-inch square of fabric will cover the 2-inch foam ball. Add a touch of whimsy to the sunflower by stitching the tidbit B by Embroidery Central onto the fabric for the central ball. A length of low-gauge floral wire goes through the foam ball, anchored on top with a coil. Now cover the ball with fabric and gather the ends around the stem. I can make a cone flower by using a couple of different ball sizes, 1 inch on top and a 1/2 inch underneath, evened out with a layer of bonded batting. Secure the covering fabric with tape or a few stitches. Cut out and stack the petal rings, offsetting them as you go for a full ruffly look. Pin them together for a temporary hold, and at your sewing machine, stitch them together. After stitching the petals together, you might choose to remove the water-soluble stabilizer. Do this by gently placing the petal stack in a bath of warm water. If you choose to soak the petal stack, allow it to dry. With pins, attach the center ball fabric to the petal rings from the underside of the petals. Both of my flower pots are dollar store finds. It's fun to use a different variety of containers to add weight to the bottom of the pincushion design. I'll trim the foliage that came with the basket and add my sunflower, and I'll fill the other container with an air-drying clay and press the floral wire into the clay. I hope you've been inspired to give Loose Petal Applique a try and bring a little spring indoors with these potted pincushions.